Hello, long time no see. It's been about a month since I've made any videos, and I'm now 24 weeks pregnant, which is so crazy. It's technically Viability Week, which if you don't know is basically like if I was to give birth right now, the chances of the baby's survival increase dramatically. So that's really exciting. But yeah, I haven't posted in about a month because of a lot of things. But the biggest reason is RA has just been really bad. And so I wanted to really give an update on the rheumatoid arthritis aspect of pregnancy so far. When I was making the decision to have a baby and become a parent, every time I would talk to someone about pregnancy, they would almost always say something along the lines of, you know, most women with RA actually go into remission during pregnancy and they feel really, really good. And so I'm sure you're gonna love it and you're gonna feel the best you've ever felt. That's just not the case. I think statistically, it's only actually about a third of women who experience remission in pregnancy. And for another third, it stays kind of the same. And for another third, it might get even worse. So everyone is so different. And for me, the first trimester was really fine in regards to RA, which is wonderful because it was not fine in so many other aspects. But gosh, like right around 20 weeks, it just has been kind of nonstop. And I think it's also just due to the fact that it's coinciding with springtime, and springtime for me is just historically a really bad time of year. I was also late on Enbrel by about 2 weeks, which had a huge effect. I've known for a long time, years now, that if I'm late on my medicine at all, it's right back to square one. I just don't know if I will ever have a period in my life when I am not on medicine. So that is definitely holding up to be true during pregnancy as well. I just got my Enbrel shipment yesterday, so I finally have a dose in me, and I'm hoping that's going to help everything calm down. I also have a rheumatology appointment tomorrow. I called my doctor because I was like, I can't keep doing this. I told myself I wasn't going to try to intervene with RA unless I felt like my body was in distress, because if I feel like I'm in distress, then I feel like my baby might be in distress. And I'm starting to feel that way. I'm starting to feel really worn down by it. And the flares are starting to have a really big impact on my ability to do things. So I called my doctor. They got me in for an emergency appointment, and it's tomorrow. So I don't know what we'll do, but he's probably just gonna give me a steroid pack. And I think I'm getting to that point in pregnancy when NSAIDs are just a no. So I still haven't taken any NSAIDs yet. I held off. My rheumatologist had given me permission, I think around the 12-week mark. I had an appointment and I asked him about NSAIDs, and he said, yeah, but the further along you get into your pregnancy, you're not going to be able to. So I think I'm nearing that point when I'm not going to be able to use NSAIDs. So yeah, we'll see what he says. He might have other tricks up his sleeve. I don't know. So what has been going on with RA? My brain is cuckoo crazy. The pregnancy brain and the brain fog are combining forces to create one great evil. And so I have a notepad here to help me stay on track today. So which joints have been giving me issues? It's been hands, pretty much constant. It hasn't been the whole hand yet. It'll be this thumb has been giving me a lot of shit. It'll be the outsides. You know, sometimes the top of the hand, like these little joints or whatever, get really bad. And then it's just like random fingers. The individual joints in the hand that do get bad get really bad. And I'm noticing swelling again. I went for quite a few years when I was on methotrexate and Orencia, where whenever I would get a flare, I didn't have any kind of swelling or redness or anything like that. It was just pain and stiffness. But now when I get flares, it's kind of reminiscent of the early days again, when there's pain and stiffness, but it's also accompanied by very obvious swelling and redness on the outside. And I'm noticing a lot of, it looks like internal pressure, because my veins start to bulge out of my hands and also my feet. And so every day it's just different parts of the hands that are bad. My wrists are really bad. So those are kind of a constant. Similar with my feet, not as bad. Like I might have a day or two in between flares in my feet where my feet are okay. But then like yesterday, for example, it almost felt like I had gout. It was just like that acidic, fiery kind of flare on the whole top of my foot, where it just hurts to put even like the blanket, like a top sheet on top. It is just like agonizing. So that's dumb. And then for the bigger joints, it's just popcorning around from shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, hip to hip. It's also like outer hip, and then it'll go inner hip, like the groin area. And then my knees have been bad for a couple days. Sorry. I'm sitting on the ground, which, why am I sitting on the ground right now? This is probably gonna induce a flare all on its own, but it's where the light was. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, I feel so pregnant right now. Let me just show y'all my bump. Hang on. You see it? Oh my God. Look how big it is. That's a certified bump right there. Yep. Okay. Okay. So. It just feels like every day I wake up with plans, things to do, and I'm thwarted by my joints every single day. Plus, just, I think because I have a really short torso, I mean, the top of my hip bone to my ribs is really only about, what is that, about 4 inches? I have a really short torso, and so I'm only 24 weeks, but everything just feels so tight and compacted already in my belly. I'm already starting to feel out of breath. When the baby kicks, it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm being pummeled. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do come this summer. It feels like we're running out of room already. Other RA things, there's a lot of overlap with pregnancy and RA, and so everything's just like compounded. Like the fatigue, there's fatigue with RA and there's fatigue with pregnancy, and so it's just like mega fatigue. I have run a bit of a fever quite a few times, kind of without knowing, and that makes me think that it's probably RA related. One time I had to go to the ER, I think around 16 weeks maybe, and there was, I had a fever apparently. I didn't know about. It was like 102. So random stuff like that. Having RA while pregnant is a little bit triggering, because it triggers all those fears in my head. Because when I'm really bad and my husband's taking care of me and I'm laid up in bed and my hands are wrapped in ice packs and I'm just feeling like a pitiful little person, all I can think is, what the fuck? How would I be doing this with a child? And I know a day is gonna come when I'm gonna have a really bad flare and I'm gonna have to be taking care of my kid. However, my solace is just that as soon as this baby's out of me, I will be able to load up on all kinds of medicine. As soon as this baby's out, I'm gonna be asking to go back on methotrexate and Orencia, because that was the golden winning combination for me. Put me into like an almost total remission. So I'm just looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to being able to pop some NSAIDs and being able to take Flexeril and things like that. So I do feel very mentally prepared for all of these flares, because I've had many seasons of life where I didn't have any help to get through flares. And so I kind of know mentally how to do it, how to get through. I love being pregnant. Like, it's just such a fun and novel thing. At the same time, I cannot wait to not be pregnant. It'd be really nice to feel like I have my body back. All I want in life is to be sitting on my patio in the summertime. It's like 9 p.m. The sun is setting. I have an ice cold glass of champagne or sparkling rosé in my hand and my baby on my chest, and I can hear the birds chirping and music playing, and it's going to happen. That will happen this year. And so I'm just looking forward to that. Last thing I'll say, never mind. It's TMI. There's so much stuff I want to talk about in regards to pregnancy, but it's just, it needs to be a separate video, because I don't want people being here for RA content and then me start talking about my nipples. But I would like to talk about my nipples because it's insane. And so I might make another video that's just specifically about pregnancy and the mind-blowing things that are happening. Okay. Bye-bye.